Deathstroke, also known as the Terminator, is renowned as the world's greatest mercenary and the deadliest assassin. Deathstroke sees his deadly work as just a job, not defining who he is. Slade Wilson, also known as Deathstroke, sees himself as a good guy who embraces adventure. In a world skeptical of technology's security, preferring old-fashioned methods, rely on printed photos, and handwritten notes for privacy. A novel murder request, even if it means upsetting Putin, has grabbed my curiosity. The target? Known as Possum. I have a great contact in Russia named Angelica. She knows everything happening in the city. We have a history, but now it's just a business relationship. I pay her well for the information I need for my work. Angelica is a believer in working hard and playing harder. I don't mind, as long as she can help me leave by sunrise. Across town, one of Russia's new megacities. Angelica says sorry for being messy, but Slade is happy with her, because she got important information from two people. Angelica got names, places, and who planned everything. Slade didn't know these details before Angelica told him, and he's curious about it. Angelica says they knew Slade was coming, and paid her to let him fall into their trap. Curiosity led her to stick around. She found a mobile transmitting, a frequency only Slade can hear. Possum from Slade past, reappears, talking about a key unlocking, and the impact of time on Slade. Slade thinks Possum doesn't make much sense, but Possum tells him to listen to the sound of someone breaking into his mind. Possum reveals that those who had Slade do things for them thought they could hide it, but they were wrong. The scene ends with Slade losing control of his body, suggesting consequences for hidden actions, and vulnerability in his mind. Slade gives Possum a code, but Possum makes fun of him. Even though Slade threatens him, Possum says Slade is not useful anymore. Possum acknowledges that Slade was a good soldier, but makes it clear he plans to kill him. Possum wants to see if Slade's healing ability is as good as his. He mentions that someone named Odysseus is after Slade, and implies a grim fate. Slade grabs the blade, and pushes it through Possum's skull, killing him. After the fight, Slade knows he has to leave to avoid more trouble. He also takes care of his injuries. He communicates with his team about the situation, and expresses frustration at always being right. There's a big explosion, and Slade is right in the middle of it. The VTOL assault craft is a high-tech, versatile aircraft similar to the UH-52 Blackhawk. Armed with 4 armor-piercing cannons, it is designed for rapid deployment and tactical operations against tough enemies. It can carry 12 people, and is great for quickly dropping off or picking up troops in important missions. Slade is hurt and calls for help, admitting the pain is real, and still recovering from an encounter with Possum. He notices something familiar about the markings on his enemies, but realizes they are not from around here, adding a bit of mystery to the situation. Slade delivers a fatal blow with his sword. His enemy's armor provides full body protection, but their foolish choice of a mask makes it the most vulnerable target. Additionally, the neck pieces offer another weak spot for a swift and lethal strike. As the aircraft fires 2 rockets at Slade, a massive explosion occurs, sending debris flying everywhere. Slade dodges the attack skillfully and remarks, "Well, that sucked." Meanwhile, Possum, injured and covered in blood, warns Deathstroke to run. Slade is in trouble. His lungs are full of blood, and he's trying hard to focus on finding a person named Tiggs, and figuring out who hired him. He also wants to check if Angelica, someone important to him, is alive. He's struggling to remember the name of an old man he needs to find. Even though he's not healing quickly, he's determined to keep going. Suddenly, I-Ching appears and tells Slade to have a seat. Slade unconscious, collapsing to the ground. Slade wakes up after 16 days, realizing he's been through a tough experience. I-Ching, his apparent savior, reassures him of safety. Slade, confused and unable to see, questions I-Ching, who hints at Slade's extraordinary healing abilities. I-Ching urges Slade to leave, emphasizing the danger he's in. There's a sense of unfinished business, and an implied debt from Slade to I-Ching. Despite Slade's concerns, I-Ching insists on explanations later, with survival being the current priority. Slade inquired about what I-Ching had done to him during the 16 days of unconsciousness.